Guys, let's keep the InArt hype train rolling here because we got to talk about this. InArt has one release really, but two other releases that are kind of out there, right? So I want to talk about this. We've all been a little skeptical. I know, Marco, I don't know about you, but Kiko and I have been critical of InArt in terms of the release dates and things like that. So, but I want to revisit this conversation because now we sort of have basically 3 releases under our belt. And now we're able to look back at this and say, has InArt earned our trust after 3 releases that seem to be very high quality? I mean, I can confirm after having 2 of these releases, they are very high quality, particularly that Gandalf is incredible. And I can't wait for this Pennywise. Mine is en route, so I'm excited. But Kiko, after 3 releases, 1 to you, I get that. Is 3 releases enough for InArt to earn people's trust? What do you think?
No. Daniel, I'm sorry. Daniel,
get him, bro.
I just gonna need to be really straightforward and honest, is that a majority of people don't have Gandalf and or Pennywise and won't have them for quite some time. Just being honest. The majority of collectors that order them don't have them or will have them. So I can't say that it's been a full release yet. The Jokers haven't even been fully released yet. So I don't know if you can say that that's fair, because I can't wait. Can we say spoiler about tomorrow's stream?
Yeah.
We can announce that, right? We already know that, right?
Yeah, okay. We're doing the InArt interview tomorrow.
So we're doing an InArt interview tomorrow. So we're talking with InArt. And one of the things I want to get down to personally, what does that mean for collectors like me that don't get review copies, things like that, not anywhere up in the preferential queue, anything like that? The average collector. What do we do, and how do you build trust with the average collectors that, okay, I would love these figures, but how the fuck do I get them? Because right now, there's no good option. If I'm stateside, there's not a really good option if you want it anytime soon. Because even if you did go through the actual channels like Spec Fiction and things like that, you're still waiting. So on Joker, let alone these 2. So that's the biggest thing. If you want to earn my trust, you have to fix distribution. I'm not talking about quality anymore at this point, because we can say that it looks good. Undeniably that it looks good. Will there be, like you had said, there's going to be some futzing out of the box? Not all the beards will look great. Not all the hair will look great. My Joker didn't look great. That's fine. But I think people are willing to bypass, okay, I'll mess with mine when I have it. Because the biggest issue is, when can I have mine? How do I get it? And until you answer that question and can legitimately say, here's how to get one, to where the consumer feels confident enough to get it, that's the big one for me, man. I'm just being honest.
Right. I do get that, Kiko, and I totally understand with the people who are like, oh, it hasn't shipped yet. I do think the Gandalf and the Pennywise will ship a lot sooner than the Joker did. And to be also in pursuit of fairness here, and as much as I love Todd, and he's pretty much readily admitted this, part of the reason the Joker took so long for the Spec Fiction buyers is the way he was shipping them. So I think, which he's addressed and said that he's going to rectify moving forward. Kit got the Jokers out pretty quickly. Like most people got them within maybe a couple months, right? So I think Gandalf.
I waited remember Kiko shipping when? That was a hashtag.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You and Nick both. But I will say the Joker, I feel like from what I've heard, is that it was a much larger batch than Gandalf and Pennywise. So I think
will give them that.
In theory, those should ship faster, I would think. So I'm thinking that they probably will. So I do think people are going to get those in hand much faster, particularly Pennywise, because I think Pennywise is probably a much smaller batch. So I think that one's going to get to collectors a lot more quickly. But I guess we will see. Marco, can I ask you the question, bro? After 3 releases, is InArt earning your trust? What do you think?
I would say for me personally, they have earned trust. I've got the Joker in hand. I've got 3 Jokers in hand, right? So I would say I've got a pretty large sample size in terms of what they've released so far. But I will say for average Joe, there is a lot of skepticism that I see out there. I think Kiko nailed it. It all comes down to the distribution. Will, I hope what you're saying is right, that they are going to get this into collectors' hands much quicker here in the States. But I think until we see that speed, folks are just still going to say, well, I see that Will has this, but
right.
I'm not going to have it for another 6 months, another year. I know up until really recently, folks hadn't even got their Joker yet. So I do understand that people are really skeptical that they're going to improve. But if we see that improvement over the next, I'm going to say the next few months are going to be really, really crucial for InArt in terms of getting these figures into collectors' hands, them not having big QC issues, with the expedited, process, and then also what they release, right? Let's hope that they actually get the Superman up for pre-order, that we at least know that the Batman is going to be on the way semi soon. That I think the narrative can shift really quickly. If a lot of folks in the community are saying, I've got it, it's good, it's way quicker than the last time, I think that trust is going to be built really quickly. And if they keep delivering this quality, more and more people are going to jump on the bandwagon, because I know that I personally skipped on the Gandalf and the Pennywise, but considering how great they came out, those are two that I kind of was looking at, like, maybe should I try to add if there's additional stock? I'm going to stay put for now, but they're so S tier in terms of 1 6 figures that they're hard to pass up on. But you got to pick and choose. There's too much stuff coming out, so I think InArt can turn around the narrative and the skepticism pretty quickly.
And I totally get it, guys. I'm absolutely, because it's a great point, Marco and Kiko both. I'm willing to admit, look, I have gotten an early figure, so I totally understand the trepidation for people who haven't gotten anything besides the Joker yet. I can just tell you, obviously those people are only judging it off what they've seen in my video and Joel's and other people's videos, whatever. But when I can just tell you guys, that Gandalf, whether you trust my opinion or not, that Gandalf is fucking phenomenal. I unboxed that figure and I was like, this thing is so good. Look, futzing aside, some people didn't like how I did the hair. I totally get it, which we are going to talk about. And I'm going to improve that for future reviews. I'm still new to reviews, so bear with me. I'm still figuring things out. I'm still a little bit new. I've been doing live streams for forever. I mean, I did movie reviews, but as far as 1 6 figure reviews, I'm still having to do things I haven't been as used to. So I'm still growing and learning with that. So bear with me as I work through that. But look, that Gandalf, man, that Gandalf is so good, bro. It's so good. And the Joker, and I will tell you guys, I think I said this in the review too, the magnets in the base are much better this time. I still feel a little bit of trepidation, but I do have them on the magnetic bases right now, and they've been fine. I do feel he's much more secure. It feels like the magnets are across the entire base on Gandalf instead of where the Joker, it's directly in the middle. So it's better for sure. It's better, and I think overall I'm happy with it. They have earned my trust. But again, I've been very privileged to get early copies of these where I got them through Kit early. So that is something that I've been able to see them early. So I totally get people's hesitancy. But I can just tell you, from my opinion and my perspective, I trust them after 2 or 3 releases. And I can bet you that when I get this Pennywise in hand, I'm probably going to like this one even more than the Gandalf, just because I love the character and I love I think this Pennywise looks great. So I trust them. But again, I understand people's hesitancy, especially considering the price and sometimes the wait times. But again, I do think you're going to get these faster. And we'll ask InArt this tomorrow, like Kiko mentioned. We'll ask them about sort of their batch system and things like that and see what the plan is moving forward so collectors can get these in hand a little more quickly. So,
what narrative I don't trust, though, Will?
Yeah.
Is folks saying, well, that's a review copy that Will received, that Justin received, that
right.
Big Bretta received. When, other collectors get this in hand, it's going to be different. That would be the quickest way for InArt to just tank their company. If they were sending different versions out to different people, that's not going to happen. I have 0% faith that that's
because Marco, that's an excellent
argument.
point, bro. Because think of it like this: like, okay, that shtick would only last for so long. Because
look, do that one time.
Because like, okay, we'll sell it to the reviewers and they'll sell it to people. But when people get the figure in hand and it's ass, they're never going to buy anything InArt ever again. So it would be the absolute dumbest move they could possibly do. Because they would send it to me and it would be fucking prototype quality. And then they'd send it to Daniel and he would get one. It would be ass, right? And then you would be like, well, Daniel would be like, well, fuck, I would love InArt, but now I don't. And now we're going to buy it. I'm not going to pay $500 for InArt.
Never would happen.
Yep. Daniel would get a pristine copy. But yeah, man. So I trust them. But again, of course, could they let us down? Sure. Could Hot Toys let us down? Yeah. Any of these companies could. InArt could fuck us. But I don't think they're going to. I think they have a pretty good track record with Queen. I think 3 figures, at least the 2 that I have in hand, I'm very impressed with. And I think they're great. So are there small things here and there? Sure. Could I have done that review a little bit better? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I could have, but I'm going to work on it. So I'll get better and I'll showcase the figures as best I can for you guys. So that said, thank you so much for the feedback. And of course, we want to talk about something else sort of in relation. This, again, ties into what we were talking about.